So, Harlequins versus Leicester Tigers, back to Premiership action after the Champions Cup. Also, just briefly, an apology for no review of the Leinster game. Just had a really busy week, but quickly on that, very proud of the performance. Frustrating, feel like we could have got something from the game, but very proud of the effort. We gave it a right old crack, and hopefully, we can build on that performance and into this game on tomorrow night. Yeah, so Premiership, back to Premiership action. Last game before 2 month break. Quite weird, obviously having the Six Nations off, but an absolutely huge game. Quinn's currently sitting in second, 7 points ahead of us. It's kind of must-win territory. 7 games left. Away trips to Newcastle Saints and Sale along those. I feel like we need to win 6 out of the last 7, maybe 5 out of the last 7 with a few bonus points, but a win here would be absolutely massive with our top 4 aspirations. But it's up against a very good team. Obviously, Quins, as I said, sitting second. Big win against Ulster last week. Obviously, lost quite a few to the England squad along with us, but yeah, absolutely huge place. A tough place to play away from home at the Stoop. Great atmosphere. But obviously did get that win last year, so we'll see. Onto the Tigers team. So a few changes, obviously, with the England players away. So back line of Shilcock, Brown, Kelly, Catter, Hassel-Collins, Pollard, Whiteley. Good to see James Shilcock get a start. I think it's actually his first Prem start for us at 15. Obviously Brown moving to onto the right wing. Kelly Catter, the return to that partnership. Obviously, I think Scott and Kelly did a decent job last week, but Catter just brings that absolute physicality. And yeah, I think Tom Whiteley has been absolutely brilliant last week. Coming out of the line, really trying to shut them down in attack Leinster. So hopefully you can do similar sort of thing against a brilliant attacking side in Quins. And Andre Pollard, he needs a big game because I wouldn't say he had a bad game last week, but wasn't quite up to his world-class best. So yeah, he needs a big game. Onto the pack, Cronin, Montoya, Richardson, Wells, Hatherall, Liebenberg, Cracknell, Visa. I think the story of this game is always going to be who's going to play at tight head. He's obviously gone Dan Richardson, makes a lot of sense. Very inexperienced, but has played quite a bit of Championship rugby this season. It's only his third Premiership game, first Premiership start. So only played a handful of games for us this season, but he's been training within the setup for a couple of seasons now, and this is just a massive opportunity for him up against a good scrummaging team as well. But up against Finn Baxter, who's a brilliant young loose head. But it's a great test for him. It's an absolute big test for him. Another surprise, Kyle Hatherall in the second row. I don't think he's actually played there in a couple of seasons, at least started there. But that means we have a really good carrying back 5 there. Hatherall, Liebenberg, Cracknell, Visa, all really good carriers. Just going to be line out time. I think Liebenberg will be seeing a lot of the ball come line out time. But yeah, and again, Ollie Cracknell there instead of... I feel like I would have gone Ilioni. We haven't really got a breakdown threat there. Obviously Montoya does his best, but Cracknell can win the odd turnovers, but he's not really your poacher. You're chasing turnovers open side. Hopefully that's not a mistake. Time will tell. Onto the bench, Theobald Thomas, Van Veek, Hoyt, Carter, Rogerson, Cardiff, Young, Scott. Tim Hoyt getting his first Premiership game. It's only played the one game for Tigers. I think he's had quite a few injuries over the last few seasons. Obviously a brilliant young prospect. Got the absolute build for it, but it's going to be a massive test for him when he comes off the bench. 6-2 split as well. Finn Cardiff getting his first Prem game of the season. Whether that's by choice or, again, if we just don't have any other fit backs. But I think it might be the right decision to go 6-2, just really try and play the power game and get on top of Quins that way. Onto the Quinn side, so again, they're missing quite a few names, but still a very strong team. So got Green, David, Joseph, Esterhazen, Liner, Evans, Green as their back line. that back three is just pure pace. Very exciting when they get their balls on. They get their hand on the ball. Esterhazen, obviously, just an absolute brilliant 12, probably the best in the Premiership. But the kind of could be the difference is the halfbacks. Obviously, Evans is a brilliant Welsh fly half, but Green, don't know too much about him. I think might be his first start for Quins, maybe their third, fourth choice scrum half. So a combination that I'm guessing hasn't played together, that could be the difference come tomorrow night. Obviously up against Pollard and Whiteley, who've played a good few games together now. And obviously Pollard is Pollard. Into the pack, gone Baxter, Walker, Collier, Launchbury, Herbst, Hammond, Evans, Chisholm. Yeah, it's a pretty damn strong pack, isn't it? Something that's quite underrated with Quins. Obviously, we all know how good they are ball in hand, but they've got a strong pack, strong set piece. Launchbury, Herbst is, you're not moving them too much around. Collier, excellent scrummager. Baxter already said, really brilliant young prospect. I'm sure he's going to win many England caps. Will Evans, probably unlucky to not actually get into the England setup, being absolutely brilliant. Obviously, former Tiger a good few seasons ago, but he could be a real difference between the sides without us going for the poacher. Onto the bench, Riley, Garcia Botta, Lewis, Clark, White, Jaltema, Edwards and Murley. I'm presuming Murley's got injury and is only just coming back, that's why he's not starting. Pretty solid bench as well. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Friday night at the Stoop, the atmosphere is going to be really good for them. They got a strong pack, strong front row. Obviously the scrums are a bit of a worry for us up against the inexperienced two tight heads we have. Yeah, it's a strong team. It's a strong team. There's no wonder they're sitting second this season. As I already said, had a really good win against Ulster last week. They'll be flying. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough. Prediction time. I do think we should get something, and I think we need something from this game. It would be lovely to get a win, but I'm going for a losing bonus point. I think Quins by 7. I think they're just about going to get us up front in the set piece. And just, I do worry about our fitness levels after the last 2 weeks. We've had 2 absolutely massive test matches. The boys are going to be battered. The boys are going to be feeling it. Whereas obviously Quinn's a bit more fresher with 2 wins. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very tough, tight game, but I think Quins might just nick it by 7. A losing bonus point. I would obviously want to win, but wouldn't complain too much about a losing bonus point. But yeah, absolutely huge game before the 2-month break. Yeah, come on Tigers.